Why is this so important?
Well, it's all about the eat and the taste and the nutrient density. So when you have a grass-fed animal, you're getting the nutrients from the soil, from the area. You're also getting an animal that's free just to be an animal. No cages, no force feeding at all. So that's all going to come through in this plate, and it's nutrient dense, and there's some interesting additional vitamins and omegas that come through in a piece of beef like that. So this is a real simple dish. We really have two ingredients. One is salt and the other is steak. I mean, can't get simpler than that.
What's this?
So I normally use butter, but we also do have grass-fed beef rendered suet or fat. So while this is heating up, let's just see how warm it is. You just take a little bit in. You can use butter, but by using a little bit of grass-fed beef fat, it just gives it that extra deep dimension. So that'll melt off for a little while, and you can see it almost looks like butter, and it gives it a nice caramelization. Going back to the steak, a really important step is to make sure that it gets to room temperature or as close as possible. So open up your steak, let it stand for as long as possible, and it's a simple reason. The warmer it is, the less it's going to cool the pan down, and you don't want the pan cooling down because then you're stewing, and you've got to stay frying.
So Gary, you basically haven't put anything on that steak now. We've just got a plain piece of meat.
I haven't, and there's a massive debate about when you salt and whatever. It's just a habit. I mean, I will, just before it goes in the pan, I'll just sprinkle a little bit of rock salt on it. I'm quite liberal with salt, as you can see. I really do believe that it just adds to the flavor, and it's a natural ingredient, so you're not taking away from the beef taste.
And it seals it as well. I mean, it's going to keep the juices in the meat.
So we're going to run it on max heat just in the beginning, and then we're going to bring it down to halfway. So you want to hear that.
Oh, that sounds lovely, sizzling.
A nice sizzle, and we don't leave it on max. As soon as it's in, I wait 2-3 minutes, and then we drop it down. Is that about half?
We can go down to half.
Perfect. And then the word's render. So you want to render the fat. What you're trying to do is cook it, but not too long and not too short. But you want this fat here to melt through and go into the pan, which is exactly what it's doing.
So you get all those natural juices flowing through, which is so lovely and gives it so much flavour.
And then the next rule, I guess, is don't use a fork and don't use a knife to turn the steak.
Oh wow!
You don't want to pierce the meat because you're going to lose moisture.
Oh, interesting.
And you don't want to do that. So
we're basically sealing it now with the salt, and we by piercing it, we're going to let all of that flavour out.
Absolutely, and the best thing is really just to leave it. I love cooking with my hands, clean hands obviously, and I would just turn it by hand or just a little pair of tongs. There's nothing wrong with moving it around. It's slightly sticky in the beginning, which is natural, but you can just move it around and then just absorb some of that nice grass-fed beef fat. And then you leave it. You notice I'm not turning it, I'm just letting it carry on and do its own thing. As long as you can hear sound, you know you're on the right track.
Okay, so how long do you recommend cooking it on each side for?
So it's a tough one, and it isn't really a set rule. It depends on the thickness of the steak, and not all steaks are equal.
Yeah.
But you really should go 2/3, in my opinion, is cooked on the first side.
Okay.
And then it's turned just to brown off the bottom and just get more of an even cook. So 3-4 minutes.
Okay.
It can really be a quick
and then
process.
we're going to rest it.
And then we're going to rest it, take it off and just let it stand a little bit. Just relaxes, gets all the juices together. And it's very hot, so you wouldn't want to eat it straight away. The beauty about cooking in a pan is that you've got so much more control, as opposed to a brine.
Yes.
Your medium rest is the way to go, especially on a piece of ribeye like this. Is just hold it up on the side once it's almost cooked. The taste of cooked fat. I mean, just look at that fat along there.
Wow.
I mean, that's just going to be incredible taste. So the more you brown off the fatty pieces on the end, and please don't cut those off and put them in on the side of your plate. So they have to be consumed, because that's where the goodness is. And the whole idea of eating a steak is to have a piece of steak with a little piece of fat almost in every mouthful. And that just makes the whole eat experience so much nicer.
This is exactly why I don't have sugar, so I can afford all this fat. My best.